This is a PPN podcast.
Hey everybody, well it's finally here y'all. The Daytona 500 is here. It's time for another great racing season. Time to sit back on the weekends, watch some racing and have some fun. I know I'm sure ready. I got some turkey legs to smoke over the weekend and I'm just going to come off from church and crash Sunday. So I'm going to give you Larry McNuggets before I give you the weekend preview.
SiriusXM's On Track.
Fun with McNuggets.
It's time for Larry McNuggets on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio.
By the way, Larry, my wife likes your McNuggets. I'll think about that little McNugget.
Didn't have to call it a little McNugget now.
That's a double Dunkin' Nugget.
There's only so many nuggets that you don't really touch.
Oh, right. Larry McNugget.
Shut up with your buzzer.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Wow, we got a lot going on right there. Well, this is a classic case of do not procrastinate when you need to do something, because we were going to do Larry McNuggets tomorrow, but fortunately, over the weekend, while I was sitting at home, just me and the dogs, I worked on Larry McNuggets last weekend, had to call an audible. We're going to be taping a show in FS1 studio tomorrow during our show, so I'm not going to be able to join you. Brad Gilly will. But the Larry McNuggets for the 63rd running of the Daytona 500 was done and in the book. So here we go.
Very impressive.
In the first 62 Daytona 500s, we have had 39 different drivers go to victory lane. In the 147 NASCAR Cup Series races at Daytona International Speedway, we've had 66 different winners, so not quite half. 12 drivers have multiple Daytona 500 wins. 6 drivers have won 3 or more Daytona 500s, most notably the man that's going for 3 consecutive this weekend that's never been done, Denny Hamlin, won it in 16, 2019, and of course last year. 17 NASCAR Hall of Fame drivers have won the Daytona 500. And to me, that's a little bit artificial, because I think about the engine builders, the owners, the crew chiefs. That list, it's probably 17 when you think about Glenn and Leonard Wood, you think about Dale Inman, you think about Robert Yates, Rick Hendrick, Jack Roush, Roger Penske. So probably about every NASCAR Hall of Famer, Ray Evernham, has had something to do with winning a Daytona 500. 16, roughly half of our Cup champions, they have won the Daytona 500. So William Byron, he won the 2020 Coke 0400 when we were last at Daytona. Who is the last driver to win back-to-back races at Daytona? Not back-to-back 500s, back-to-back Daytona races. This is an interesting answer. Interesting answer.
Yeah, because Denny Hamlin's won back-to-back 500s, but back-to-back Daytona races. You can never go wrong with an Earnhardt or a Gordon. I'm going to go ahead and get...
You can never go wrong with them, but you'd be wrong with them today. So.
I'll go with Jimmy Johnson.
You are spot on, Captain Pat. In 2013, Jimmy Johnson swept the races down there at the World Center of Speed. Kyle Busch, we're going to talk to his crew chief, and I would say there's probably not a box that he would like to check better than to check the Daytona 500 box. Kyle Busch has 57 career Cup wins, but he's 0 for 15 in the Daytona 500. In fact, he has the most career wins of any Cup driver without winning the Daytona 500.
Wow.
Denny Hamlin is the only repeat winner in the last 13 Daytona races, and he's the only repeat winner in the last 11 Daytona 500s. He has 3 wins, 8 others with 1 win each. He has won 3 of the last 5 Daytona 500s, and he has done it with 2 different crew chiefs. We mentioned it earlier, Mike Wheeler in 2016, Chris Gabehart in 2019 and last year. 4 drivers, lost myself here. Okay, Daytona 500 was won by the defending NASCAR Cup Series champion 5 times. In other words, who won the championship, came back the next year, and won the Daytona 500. We know Chase Elliott is in that position, but who was the last driver to do that? Won the championship, rolled into Daytona, and won the Daytona 500.
Was it his dad, Bill Elliott?
It was not his dad. Don't have to quite, you got to go back a ways, but not quite that far back.
Jeff Gordon.
It was not Jeff Gordon. Dale Jarrett won the championship in 1999 and rolled in there and won the Daytona 500 in 2000. Denny Hamlin has won 2 of the closest Daytona 500s. In 2016, we talked to him the other day about it when we had Martin Truex Jr. on. He beat Martin Truex Jr. by 1/100th of a second. And then last year, he beat Ryan Blaney by 14/100ths of a second. 2 of the closest finishes we've ever had. The Daytona 500 has only been won from the pole 9 times. Alex Bowman would nothing more than love to make that 10. Who was the last driver to win the 500 from the pole?
I've got to get right. I've got to get his name in some point, some way, somehow it'll be correct. Is it Jeff Gordon?
It is not Jeff Gordon.
Dang it.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
It was not Ricky Stenhouse Jr. because Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has never won the Daytona 500, Pat.
I realized that after I said it.
Believe it or not, I'm going to go back to where we were a while ago. Dale Jarrett in 2000 sat on the pole and won the Daytona 500. So that means no Daytona 500 winner has won from the pole in the last 20 Daytona 500s. Alex Bowman, not sure he wants to hear about this one. 13 Daytona 500 pole winners never led a single lap in the race. 13. A little bit of dual trivia here, or McNugget. The dual winner has won the Daytona 500 9 times, but not what the dual winner would want to hear from the night. If you go on numbers, the last time a driver won the Daytona 500 that won the duel on Thursday, you got to go all the way back to Matt Kenseth in that 17 car for Roush Fenway Racing in 2012. Had to change these numbers since I did them over the weekend. Chevrolet leads all with now 29 Daytona 500 poles, and I think to my point earlier, maybe in crosstalk, the last 9, going all the way back to Danica Patrick. Remember, Stewart-Haas Racing, they were Chevrolets in 2013 when she sat on the pole. All Chevrolets in the last 9 years. Hendrick Motorsports has now won 6 of the last 7 Daytona 500 poles, and it has actually been with 4 different drivers. Toyota, and that won't change for this year, they have yet to sit on the pole. A lot of Daytona 500 wins with Denny Hamlin, but they have yet to sit on the pole for the Daytona 500. Maybe Bubba Wallace likes hearing this. Maybe Chase Briscoe, host of others, Christopher Bell. The Daytona 500 was the first career victory for 7 drivers. Who was the last driver to win the Daytona 500 that it was actually his first career win? And I'm going to help you a little bit. To date, it's his only Cup win.
Oh, Trevor Bayne, 2011.
Trevor Bayne, you finally. And the church said amen.
Very funny, Patrick.
All right, now that was the Daytona 500. 21 drivers actually won their first career Cup Series race at Daytona between the Daytona 500 and the July race. That's a pretty stout number right there. The Daytona 500 has ended in overtime 10 times, including the last 3 years. So that'll be interesting. 12 Daytona 500s have been settled by a last lap pass. Maybe this is an interesting number. This is a high number. Maybe this is what Chase Briscoe, Anthony Alfredo, they're going to love to hear. 14 times a Rookie of the Year has won the Daytona 500. You know what? That's a little bit False. It's
Okay.
14 Rookie of the Year winners. In other words, 14 drivers that won Rookie of the Year, they've come back to win the Daytona 500. So I kind of worded that one a little oddball there. So we'll make sure we clean that up. Chevrolet leads all manufacturers with 24 wins in the Daytona 500. Ford has 15 Daytona 500 wins. And the only wins that Toyota has are those 3 with Denny Hamlin, which has been 3 out of the last 5. Bubba Wallace, we talk about 2311. The crew chief Mike Wheeler, he's won the Daytona 500 with Denny Hamlin back in 16 that I mentioned. And who can forget, Bubba Wallace did finish second in the 2018 Daytona 500. Do you remember who he was racing door handle to door handle with as they were coming down to the checkered flag?
No idea.
The man he drives for, Denny Hamlin. In fact, I think after that's when Denny kicked him out of the basketball league. So there was a little bit of hard feelings after that.
That's right.
So Alex Bowman, this will be his 5th Daytona 500, and it is his 4th straight Daytona 500 front row start. But as mentioned, best finish 11th so far. 2 of the last 4 Daytona 500 winners led only the final lap. 7 Daytona 500 winners have led 5 or fewer laps. Who do you think led the most laps in the Daytona 500? Led 184 of 200 laps. You got to go way, way back. Way back.
Way, way, way back.
I was not even in grammar school, but I was born.
Oh, geez, Larry. Lee Petty?
You got part of the name right.
The King.
The King. Richard Petty in 1964 led 184 laps. And still, to
Threw me off with the way, way, way back.
that man having 7 Daytona 500 wins, the 7 championships, the 200 wins, but to win 7 Daytona 500 absolutely just blows my mind.
Which spanned over the course of 2 decades. The first was 1964. The last was 1981. It's pretty impressive.
What crew chief leads all crew chiefs with Daytona 500 wins?
Ooh, this one's good. Larry has 2. Because Petty has so many, is the obvious answer Dale Inman?
You are right. Now, he does not have 7. He actually has 5. He only was with
won 5
Richard
of the 7 with Richard.
He was only the crew chief 5 of those 7 wins. Petty Enterprises leads all organizations with 9 Daytona 500 wins. Hendrick Motorsports, if they can get somebody in victory lane on Sunday, they will tie, because right now they have 8, and they have 8 Daytona 500 wins with 5 different drivers, which is pretty amazing at the end of the deal. The big one. We don't like seeing the big one, but it certainly changes the complexity of the race.
Tell us when it's coming, Larry.
Well, lap 191, 2 years ago, we had 21 drivers involved in the big one. 21 drivers at lap 191. Lap 184 last year, we had 19 drivers involved. And the biggest Daytona NASCAR Cup Series crash, it was not necessarily in the Daytona 500, but in July of 2014, 26 drivers were involved in one single crash.
Amazing.
Oh.
Well
so
over
let's
half
see.
the field.
We've talked about champions. We got a fair number of our active champions that are looking for that first Daytona 500 win. In fact, there's 4 of them. Can you name those 4?
Ooh. I know Martin Truex Jr. is looking for one. Brad Keselowski's looking for one. Pat, jump in anytime. Champions that are still looking for one.
Chase Elliott.
Champions that are still.
Chase.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Chase Elliott. So that's 3.
So who
You're
have
saying
y'all
there's
named
one
so
more.
far?
Brad, Martin, and Chase.
Okay, there's one more.
How about
We've already
Rowdy?
spoke about it. You would be correct.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, I know we're tight on time, so I'm going to pretty much end it with these, and this is kind of duel related. Dale Earnhardt Sr. won every dual race he raced in the 1990s, 1990 through 1999. Fortunately, very proudly, I was part of two of those in 97 and 98. Joey Logano, he can actually win his third consecutive dual race tonight. And both of his dual wins in 2019 and 2020 was a last lap pass. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the final Larry McNugget, Thursday, February the 11th, 2021.
In all, we are indeed on the precipice of the racing weekend and Sunday's Daytona 500, and the field is now set after last night's Blue-Green Vacations duel at Daytona.
From Daytona International Speedway.
Drivers, start your engines.
With fans in the stands, and now they are on their feet waiting for the green flag to go in the air here at the Daytona International Speedway. It does, and we are underway. On the inside, that is Alex Bowman. Right behind him comes Ricky Stenhouse Jr. To the outside, that's Eric Almirola as they race back to turn number one for the first time.
They're going to go three wide all the way through the lead draft. Inside lane is Alex Bowman. Eric Almirola in the middle, and now on the outside lane advancing to the lead, well, that's Daniel Suarez.
Meanwhile, at the front of the field, it's on yet again, Dave.
Battle is on for the number one position. Daniel Suarez is going to give up the lead, powering down to the inside and into the number one position. That's Christopher Bell.
Here comes Austin Cindric. He'll come blasting out of the pack, takes sole possession of second for just a moment.
On a car length behind Christopher Bell. Cindric outside lane, second car. Here comes Eric Almirola battling back on the bottom, though. A full head of steam. It's Almirola back to the front.
Alex Bowman, he's not worried about teammates or anyone else. He's worried about protecting this race car. And as a matter of fact, they're looking at the front of him, going under the hood. They're going to have to check and see what the story is with Alex Bowman. That is certainly unscheduled.
Austin Cindric busted for speeding on pit road. That will hurt his chances to race his way into the Daytona 500.
And Eric Jones is in and had to lock up the brakes, nearly collided. Oh, Jones overshot his box. They had to back him up. Fuel only, a chassis adjustment for him. Jamie McMurray in, fuel only as well. Jones going to lose a couple spots, but he'll keep touch with the draft.
Further back, Christopher Bell about pinned Denny Hamlin into the outside wall. Hamlin started to run to the outside. Nothing there. He'll check up and back away. Up front now, Logano on defense, trying to block the advance of Bell in three.
Bell had a look to the inside, but had to fall back in line. Now Almirola goes up the racetrack. Here comes Joey Logano to the bottom. A couple of cars out of control at the back of the pack as they are side by side for the race lead.
Coming back to the start-finish line, cars spinning behind them. Checkered flag in the air, and Eric Almirola will win Blue-Green Vacations duel number one. Christopher Bell will be second. Who gets into the Daytona 500?
At the line, Ryan Preece got by Ty Dillon by a matter of inches. Now, Ryan Preece getting by Ty Dillon would advance Ryan on speed and move Austin, or by the win of the four open cars, and advance Austin Cindric in on speed.
Number two. Green flag is in the air, and we're racing again at Daytona. It's William Byron from the inside, pole position. He'll jump out, grab the lead. Bubba Wallace and Kevin Harvick stack up side by side for second.
Wallace falls back about a car length in that outside lane. Another half a car length back on the inside is Kevin Harvick. He's going to challenge upstairs from Austin Dillon. Wallace able to slide down into the low line behind William Byron.
Comes a Thunder off of turn number 4. Back to the tri-oval they come for the very first time. Bubba Wallace will lead here at Daytona side by side, second on back. You've got Austin Dillon to the inside. You've got William Byron to the outside.
Bubba got kicked to the middle. William Byron to the inside. Kevin Harvick to the outside. Bubba Wallace in the middle with no drafting help, and he's going to go to the back. Harvick back to the lead. Blaney to second, and now they're side by side for third.
Oh, we got trouble. Chase Briscoe gets tagged. He spins down the back straightaway. A couple of other cars spin, taking evasive action as they head toward Mike Bagley.
Green flag back in the air. It's Ryan Blaney from the outside lane. He'll cross the start-finish line, makes the left-hand turn, slam down in front of his Ford teammate, if you will, in the form of Kevin Harvick.
Not altogether sure that Harvick minds that, because it sets them up to draft together and try and fend off the high line charge, which is led now by Austin Dillon with drafting help from Bubba Wallace.
Oh, they're wrecking further back behind them. Blaney goes to the bottom. 3-4 cars involved. Hard shot for William Byron. 4, Ross Chastain. The rest of them crash in front of Dave Moody.
Garrett Smithley is also involved. He tags the outside retaining wall. Noah Gregson is torn up as well. Both Smithley and Gregson try to race their way in. Both of them with heavy damage. William Byron all torn apart, just limping down on the apron at the exit of turn 2.
Green flag goes in the air, 2 to go. Truex will indeed cross over in front of Bubba Wallace. So Truex will lead. Wallace goes second. To his outside is Austin Dillon, and here comes Kyle Busch. Here comes Austin Dillon. He'll cross over, dives down to the inside, racing back to the checkered flag. They make contact, but Dillon will take the win, taking it away from Bubba Wallace. What a move off turn number 4.
That's how it sounded last night in the Blue-Green Vacations duel at Daytona. Took us a while to get it in. Had a little rain delay there in the middle, but at night's end, it was the starting field for the 63rd Daytona 500 getting set. There were winners and losers both last night. Let's begin with duel winner number 1. That would be Eric Almirola.
It was fun to lead that many laps. I think we led 52 of the 60 laps, and so to lead that many laps, the last thing you want to do is lose the race. So I was proud that there at that charge from Logano and Christopher Bell that I was able to hold those guys off and get our Smithfield car into victory lane. Such a special way to kick off our 10th season together, celebrating 10 years with Smithfield, and them being an incredible partner of mine to kick off the season with a victory, even though it's just the duel. It's a big deal. It really is. Anytime you can win at this level in any race is a really big deal. So I'm excited for the rest of the week. Obviously, our car is really fast, so it gives us a lot of confidence, and we're looking forward to the Daytona 500.
After an early race pit road speeding penalty, it looked like Austin Cindric's chances were bye-bye to get into the Daytona 500, but through maneuvering coming to the checkered flag, indeed, Austin Cindric will compete in his first Great American Race.
I'm struggling to comprehend my happiness around it because I made such a dumb mistake on pit road after I feel like I did all the hard things correctly. So definitely proud to get a Verizon 5G Ford Mustang into the race. I knew the scenarios. I probably splurged on prep work more than I ever should have, but it definitely paid off in a lot of ways tonight. So you have to still be proud of that, but at the same time, some things to clean up for sure. And some days it's your day, and I'm happy that was the case for us.
Ty Dillon did everything he needed to do, but through circumstances will find himself on the outside looking in and will not be racing in the Daytona 500 on Sunday.
It hurts for sure. It's been just unique this offseason for me, and ups and downs, and it's a blessing to get to drive a race car in NASCAR, first of all, and you get so close to getting the Daytona 500 again, and it's tough. I got to thank Johnny Morris and Marty Gaunt, Toyota. It's an opportunity of a lifetime to continue to drive race cars. I believe in myself that I can get it done in these races, and to finish 6th and not get any reward for it to get in the races is hard, but I'll get the great reward of spending time with my kids on Sunday, and we'll probably watch the race, but it definitely hurts.
Bittersweet night for the Dillons. Ty will not be racing on Sunday. Austin will, after winning dual race number 2.
I thought the better block was on the backstretch, getting Harvick to hook up to me, and he gave me that huge shove, and that's where they all started getting antsy on the bottom. We got the run, and I was kind of sideways through 3 and 4, but I know the momentum had just built, and when Bubba started swinging to the top, I knew that a flick of the wheel was going to help me cut back left, but I didn't know the 18 was that close on the inside lane, but it just worked out. We were able to have a fast Pro Shops Tracker Off-Road Chevy, and man, it just stayed up front all night. The car drove good. I was worried about it if it was going to drive good, but it drove great. Justin just did a good job in the off-season, keeping our core group of guys together and really putting in the work, and it showed off on the track tonight.
After getting involved in a crash early in the dual race number 2, Kaz Gralla looked for a moment to be done as far as making the 500. Chris Rice sitting there with heads in hand when Kaz crashed, but through a later chain of events, Kaz Grala now finds himself into the field for the Daytona 500.
Well, I felt really good about it going in. I knew there were a couple scenarios under which we'd make it, and I felt like our Hyper-Ice Chevy was going to be more than good enough to do it. And in fact, it was. We were really strong early in the race. Started playing it smart a little bit, just trying to stay out of the fray. We knew that we had a car to race with at the end of the race, so we were going to be able to get up there and lock our way into the 500. But inevitably, as sometimes it happens in speedways, as we're playing it safe, we actually ended up getting caught up in an incident. So for a moment, our chances weren't looking very good at making it into the race. But I'm really proud of everybody at College Racing and the way they hustled to get the car back on track. We were only one lap down. We were down, but we weren't out.
Noah Gragson looked to be racing his way into the Daytona 500, but got swept up in a crash. He needed to finish well. Unfortunately, he did not.
We were racing hard there. I think 3 or 4 laps to go, and our Beard Motorsports Camaro was really fast. It was really strong. We fought a little bit of a snappy, loose feel throughout the run, and after we pitted the first time, I felt like we just got a little bit looser and couldn't be as aggressive on the steering wheel as I wanted to be, making blocks and putting the car where I wanted. So I got a little too loose there. But at the end, just racing hard to get into the Daytona 500. Everybody, their adrenaline's up and they're going for broke. So I'm very thankful for the opportunity. That was pretty cool. We started last. I think I was up to 5th, 6th, 7th by the end of the first lap. So that was really cool. And, man, it's just it's an honor to drive a Mark Beard Sr. race car.
So, after all is said and done, here's how they will line up for the 63rd Daytona 500. Alex Bowman and William Byron will start on the front row, or will they? Challenges on the 48 team that they're working through. William Byron's going to have to go to a backup car, so it's very possible that when that line slides up, it'll be Austin Dillon that will actually be on the outside of the front row. Eric Almirola scheduled to start third, with Dillon in fourth and Christopher Bell in fifth. Bubba Wallace will start the Great American Race in sixth, with Ryan Newman in seventh, Kevin Harvick in eighth, Joey Logano in ninth, and Kyle Busch in 10th.
Ryan Preece will start 11th. Chase Elliott 12th. 13th will be Kyle Larson. Ryan Blaney will start 14th. Daniel Suarez will start 15th. Corey LaJoie 16th. 17th will be Michael McDowell. 18th, David Reagan. 19th, Jamie McMurray. And starting 20th will be Kurt Busch.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr. will start the 500 in 21st. Chris Buescher in 22nd. Matt DiBenedetto in 23rd. Brad Keselowski in 24th, and Denny Hamlin in 25th. 26th starter will be Martin Truex Jr. 27th will be Cole Custer. Joey Gase 28th, Tyler Reddick 29th, and Chase Briscoe in 30th.
And rounding out the field, 31st will be Eric Jones. Derek Cope will start 32nd. Quinn Houff 33rd. 34th, Ross Chastain. Cody Ware starts 35th. Anthony Alfredo 36th. 37th, Josh Bilicki. B.J. McLeod starts 38th. And 39th, Austin Cindric. 40th, Kaz Grala.
Ty Dillon, Garrett Smithley, Timmy Hill, and Noah Gragson did not make the cut. There are the 4 open teams that will not be racing in Sunday's Great American Race here at Daytona International Speedway. So
PMD.
Got to make sure you got your ducks in a row.
Weekend preview.
Here we go. NASCAR is back for another season. And as is the case, the season kicks off with the Daytona 500. There have been so many iconic moments in the Great American Race over the years. And one of those moments happened on February 15th, 1981.
At the start of Speed Week, it was inconceivable that anyone but Bobby Allison would win this Daytona 500, and Petty, through strategy and cutting and some sharp pit work, is at the head of the field in the Daytona 500. He has taken the white flag and is in turn 2.
And nary a bobble as he works his way midway up the banking, and now exiting turn number 2. Richard Petty with J.D. McDuffie ahead of him, who will not be a factor. Petty down the back stretch in control.
Richard Petty taking his classic line right out tight to the wall. Fans waving and screaming as he goes by.
Richard Petty into the third turn, banking and on his way.
The Petty dynasty marches on at Daytona International Speedway. Richard Petty high up against the wall, coming off turn 4, looking for the checkered flag.
Richard Petty picks his way out of that corner, drops down to the apron of the track to give everybody else a little racing room. And ladies and gentlemen, this crowd is going wild at Daytona as Petty takes the checkered flag and wins the 23rd annual Daytona 500.
In victory lane, Richard Petty, number 7. Richard, what kind of emotions are you feeling at this moment?
Dang good. You can bet on that. Anytime you win, you do, you feel good. And, I really feel super for the pit crew. We had some engine trouble all year, practice long, and we ran fairly good in the race the other day. And, we hadn't had a time to set the car up and everything, but the boys worked real hard. And I think it snookered them a little right there on that last pit stop, and that was the difference in the ballgame.
Yes, friends, some iconic voices. Mike Joy, Eli Gold, Dave Sutherland, Dave Despain, Barney Hall, and Dick Berggren to call on Motor Racing Network that day. So many things happened in that race. That was the debut of the Gen 3 race car. NASCAR went to race cars that had the wheelbase reduced to 110 inches. The goal was to make the Cup cars look like showroom floor cars. And that win was Buick's first in NASCAR since 1956. There was only one Chevrolet in the field that day, and it was driven by David Pearson. Race-winning crew chief, he left the team. Dale Inman evacuated the 43 team, and later would go on to crew chief Joe Ruttman's car later in the season for the J.D. Stacy Racing team. Bobby Allison dominated all of Speed Weeks and most of the 500, but ended up finishing 3.5 seconds back in second when he ran out of gas, and the 43 team took only fuel, and that's what helped Richard Petty win the 1981 Daytona 500. We fast forward now to 2021 Speed Weeks, and the party gets started tonight with the Tough Trucks of NASCAR, the Truck Series back in action, and the name is back, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, as the season begins its 27th season tonight. Daytona came online for the trucks back in 2000. Mike Wallace getting that win in the truck's first trip here to the World Center of Racing. Tonight, 36 trucks are ready to go, and one of them belongs to Timothy Peters. He's back in the series after being gone in a full-time capacity for 5 years. He's a Daytona winner, and he knows when you come here to Daytona, you expect the unexpected.
It's obviously a crapshoot when you go to Daytona. Just everybody's eager to get there, the way the trucks draft. They move around a lot. When you try to bump draft, obviously the trucks are out of control. So you get there, mind your business, and if you're there at the end, Bobby Hamilton always told me, if you go to Daytona and you roll your truck off the lift gate and roll it back on, you've had a great day. So that's what we're looking to do, and hopefully we can contend for that win and bring home my second Daytona truck win.
John Hunter Nemechek spent last year as a rookie in the Cup Series with Front Row Motorsports. This year, he moves to the Camping World Truck Series to Kyle Busch Motorsports. He's got a lot of laps around Daytona and knows he has to be there when the checkered flag is flying to have a chance to win the race.
We're going to go down and do everything that we can and give it our best shot. And speedway racing, you just got to be there at the end. So hopefully we can be there at the end and have a shot to win it. And I know that our Toyota Tundra is going to be fast, so I just have to do my job. And old Tony Hirschman up on the spotter stand has to do his job as well. And communication between driver, crew chief, spotter, everyone involved, and just stay out of the mess. It's not if there's going to be a big one, it's when. So got to stay out of that and make it to the end.
The Next Era Energy 250, 100 laps, 250 miles, stage breaks coming at laps 20 and 40. Motor Racing Network coverage tonight begins here at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Tomorrow, the NASCAR Xfinity Series will open its 40th season, and it will run its 59th race here at Daytona. Defending champion Austin Cindric is back, and so is a stacked field of drivers, including Justin Haley, who's coming off a 3-win season last year, including a Daytona win last fall. Justin, what is the plan, my man?
Our plan's going to be the same as it always is, right? Like qualify up front and run up front. That's the safest place. And we've been able to control this race a few times and just kind of let it work itself out. So I think that's the ultimate plan for any race team, though.
Michael Annett has won the season opener for the Xfinity Series at Daytona before, but he knows with a team like he's with at Junior Motorsports, there's a certain level of expectation he has to live up to when he gets to the World Center of Racing.
When we unload, we know by far we have the best race cars, the best power, and we don't necessarily go in there with a strategy. Sometimes when we have a strategy, it more times than not doesn't work out. We go in there knowing we got fast cars, let's get them to the front, help each other when we can, two fast cars are going to work together better than not. So it definitely is fun. It releases a little tension knowing that you got, the best bullet in the chamber there, but it also is like, all right, well, now it's up to me. So it adds a little pressure.
The Beef It's What's for Dinner 300 will be 120 miles, 300 laps. Make that 120 laps, 300 miles. Stage breaks coming at laps 30 and 60. Motor Racing Network airtime 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow afternoon. Sunday will be the 63rd Daytona 500, and it will kick off the 73rd year of NASCAR Cup Series racing. Denny Hamlin is going for a record straight 3-win run in the Great American Race. But he's going to have to hold off a field of strong Chargers. But Denny will describe how he feels about super speedway racing and the challenges now that it presents.
It's difficult. I mean, I think it's as difficult as it's ever been. The cars are closer together, especially with the aerodynamic package that we have now. It creates huge, holes in the air. There's more attrition than there's ever been, more wrecks. So, the likelihood of you getting in one of those is very high. So it is difficult. And you kind of need to be lucky at times, but you also need to not be unlucky at times. And so you got to rely on the skill at the end to finish it off. You have to make certain moves at the end to make it happen.
One of Hamlin's Joe Gibbs Racing teammates is Martin Truex Jr., an accomplished super speedway racer in his own right, but MTJ says no two super speedway races are created equal.
It seems to me that they all change, year to year, what time of the season it is, whether it's the playoffs, whether it's in July or whether it's the 500, it all seems different. It seems like every race plays out differently. So you kind of have to feel it out depending on what your car is doing, the position you're in. How strong is your car? Are you able to stay up front? Obviously, the safest place and the best strategy is to try to stay out front. But, with the rules that we have today, it's so difficult.
Brad Keselowski is going for his first win in the Daytona 500 on Sunday. Brad talks about how stage racing has had an effect on racing at Daytona.
It has changed the racing, but I don't know if I would say it's made it crazier. I think in a lot of ways it's made the first part of the race, or the first and the middle parts of the race, have more intensity, which is not a bad thing. It certainly keeps you from playing rope-a-dope. You can't just ride in the back and go win the race at the end because there's too many points that you give up. So I think that's probably a good thing. But I wouldn't go so far as to say that it's made the racing crazier. The end of the race is crazy because the drivers just don't respect each other. That's the reality of it.
Kevin Harvick is a former winner of the Daytona 500, but the veteran who won 9 times last year wants to get to victory lane again, this time in the Great American Race for his current team, Stewart-Haas Racing.
We've been fortunate to accomplish a lot of great things with Stewart-Haas Racing and the 4 team and the group of guys that have been around us. But the Daytona 500 is not on that list. Having won that race before and understanding the magnitude and the impact that it has is important. Being able to share that with this group of people is something that I would thoroughly enjoy.
Here is the starting lineup for the 63rd renewal of the Great American Race. Alex Bowman, William Byron on the front row. Eric Almirola will start third. Austin Dillon fourth. Christopher Bell will start in fifth. Bubba Wallace in sixth. Ryan Newman in seventh. Kevin Harvick in eighth. Joey Logano ninth. And Kyle Busch in 10th.
11th will be Ryan Preece. Chase Elliott starts 12th. Kyle Larson 13th. 14th, Ryan Blaney. Daniel Suarez starts 15th. Corey LaJoie 16th. 17th, Michael McDowell. David Reagan starts 18th. 19th, Jamie McMurray, and Kurt Busch starts 20th.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr. will be your 21st starter. Chris Buescher will roll off in 22nd. 23rd is Matt DiBenedetto. 24th, Brad Keselowski. Denny Hamlin will start 25th. 26th will be Martin Truex Jr. with Cole Custer in 27th. Joey Gase in 28th. Tyler Reddick in 29th. And Chase Briscoe will start in 30th.
Eric Jones starts 31st. Derek Cope, 32nd. 33rd, Quinn Houff. Ross Chastain starts 34th. 35th is Cody Ware. Anthony Alfredo starts 36th. 37th, Josh Bilicki. B.J. McLeod starts 38th. 39th, Austin Cindric. And 40th, Kaz Grala.
The Daytona 500 will be 200 laps, 500 miles. Stage breaks will come at laps 65 and 130. Our coverage will begin on Sunday. Fantasy Racing Preview at 11 a.m. Eastern.
It's just a fun little exercise. It's called Monday Headlines Today.
Network will be on the air at 1:30.
It's just a fun, ha funny thing. But I want to say it right now, as I'm recording this at 3:53 on Friday, February 12th, 2021. Chase Elliott wins the Daytona 500 and the 2021 championship.
So there you have it, my friends. We're all previewing.
Neil Trotta and Brad Gilley for today's SiriusXM's On Track. First of all, happy Friday, guys. Good morning. And second of all, get ready.
Good morning. Good morning.
The judge and jury are you two for our Monday headlines today exercise here for the first one of the year.
Back.
Oh, it's nice to be on the other side of this.
Excited.
Why are you so excited about this?
Well, Danielle's probably, you know what, the heck with that Daytona 500 nonsense. I'm just ready to get back to this Monday Headlines Today stuff.
But, Brad, you're right. You and I worked together a couple of times, and then Danielle had to judge you. So now you get to be with Danielle.
And the judges are pretty dang harsh. I might not be as harsh because I like you, Pete and Mike.
Well, I was going to say, I might show some leniency to Baggy because in commercial he was showing us the stopwatch there. He got in pretty late last night, a tough turnaround. So, Baggy, I might grade you on a curve. You get a little leniency because you pulled an all-nighter last night.
Was it attached to the world's smallest violin? Was that the watch that he showed you?
You know what? It's okay. You'll be fine there.
Tired.
We could all have real jobs.
And hungry. I've not had breakfast this morning.
That part I will give you. This poor guy has not had a morsel of food all day. Look at him.
I'd be hangry.
Look at him.
Well, I am. Okay, so just a little quick aside to bring you up to speed in case you missed it. Go to the ISB McDonald's down here, down by Clyde Morris. I pull up to the drive-thru. The guy keys up and says, "Hi, welcome to McDonald's. I'm sorry, but we can't serve you anything because nothing is prepared. I just got here and there's nothing ready." You've been open all damn night. How do you not have food at 6 in the morning?
No.
Come on. Yeah. So I went. I did a John Force-esque
That's a first.
pissed-off burnout going through the drive-thru, and here I am, wilting away like a head of lettuce.
Yeah, I'd actually be pretty upset at that, Baggy.
All I've had is one cup of coffee, and this is done about 7:45 this morning.
Look at him.
Stand up.
Old Mike Romaine. Look at him.
Old breath and britches over here. All right, so here we go. Monday headlines today. Sammy, get those headphones on. Come on, let's go.
Sorry, I'm packing up before the bell.
I know.
What are you, Baggy?
I am. I was killing my inner bagman. Now I'm angry.
Wow. Damn.
All right, here we go. Sam.
Here we go, Sam.
What is your Monday headline today?
All right, I even outsourced to Twitter here, and no offense, guys, didn't get any much help there. So I'm going to go with the one that I had written down, and you're all going to roll your eyes. 3 in a row. Denny does it for Dale.
I thought you said you weren't going there.
Yeah, that was my backup, and I didn't have anything else good. So 3 in a row. Denny does it for Dale.
Did Dale win 3 in a row, or did he?
No, he is number 3.
Number 3.
Oh, yeah.
Number
okay,
3.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to be nice about this, Brad.
I said I was going to be nice to Pete and Mike.
I think being scored 3rd out of 3, Sammy, is your best bet.
We got Pat, too, so hopefully I'm 3rd out of 4 here if Pat does one then.
All right, Pat.
Okay, so you guys are fighting for 1st and 2nd,
apparently.
Jeez. A lot of negative talk before I even say my headline there.
Come on, Pat, let's go.
All right, I'm going. Time's ticking. Unblainey-evable. The 12 wins the Daytona 500.
I like that.
Better?
That's strong.
He didn't do it for Dale, but...
Did he?
All right. The Great American Chase. Elliott wins the 500.
Ooh.
That's pretty good.
Whoa.
Came me in the shower, by the way, just in case you're wondering where the inspiration came on that one.
You can hedge your bets too because you got to Chase Briscoe in there too. So really, you're 2 out of 40 on that one.
He said Elliott wins the 500.
Yeah, I did say Elliott wins the 500.
Oh, sorry, never mind.
Sorry, pay attention.
Wow.
I
Doing it for Dale.
Great. Oh yeah. Great American Chase. Elliott wins the 500.
Right.
Elliott / Briscoe.
Sorry, Pat.
Baggy?
What you got?
All right. Here we go. Killer Bees. Bush, Bayshore take the 500.
Bayshore.
Also strong.
We like alliteration around here. We score high for alliteration.
And doing it for Dale's not alliteration?
Hold on a second.
All right, Cletus McFarland, it's all you can keep trying.
We've got to get to the bottom of this Bayshore thing.
I know.
We've been told it was
Agreed.
Bayshore. Cavana tweets last night that JGR is telling him it's Bayshore. The hell's going on
Kyle
out
say
here?
Bayshore, but I've heard everyone else say Bayshore.
We asked Ben. We asked him before he came on. He said Bayshore.
What did he say?
He said Bayshore.
We don't know
But
what's
the
going
team
on.
told Alan Bayshore?
Yeah.
Oh.
And by the way, is it Cavana or Cavana? He needs to get that straightened out first.
Well, that's yeah.
We got a lot of stuff on this to-do list here. All right, so
is it
Judge,
Ben or
what do you got?
I know my next NASCAR podcast is going to try to be for Sunday evening. I'm going to do a weekend preview of everything NASCAR related on TV. So I will probably record and upload that Sunday evening. I hope you have a good weekend. Get you something good to eat. Grill you something good. I got some turkey legs I'm grilling. I'm looking forward to Sunday and having a good weekend. God bless y'all.
It's like 100.
Thank God NASCAR is back.